Hello, this is Tobias speaking. I'm working with Extreme Distribution and I'm guiding you through the webinars today. So far, we've been hearing Aurélien Brel from Woody Technologies. Just now, we finished with the webinar from Extreme Media, which was about the Extreme Fabric, our hosted service, with Stefan Pfütze. In some seconds, we will start with the webinar from Capella Systems, transcoding file and live, which will be then hosted by Ikuyo Yamada, the CEO and founder of Capella Systems. So just from the timetable, we are a bit late, but now the Capella Systems webinar will start. And therefore, I welcome Ikuyo Yamada and hand her over the moderator parts.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the webinar today. As Toby mentioned, my name is Ikuyo Yamada from Capella Systems. We saw some of you guys at IBC and we were able to talk in the details about new features and enhancement in our products. However, there are some of you guys that we missed at IBC or didn't get enough information during the show. So today I'm very excited to share or reshare with you what we showed at IBC this year, which was a very successful show for us. And then also there will be Q&A session at the end of this webinar. Toby is going to be handling that, so please feel free to ask any questions you might have. We always enjoy questions and feedback from our partners and customers, as it really helps us to plan our roadmap moving forward. So many of you guys are already pretty familiar with what we offer, but we have two main software products, Cambria FTC for universal transcoding software and Cambria Live for live encoding. This webinar, I'd like to go ahead and start with Cambria FTC, which is our enterprise level transcoding software. So basically, this is enterprise level transcoder. We really designed this product to be a next generation smart transcoder. It runs on a 64-bit Windows. It runs on single machine or as a part of a cluster of machines for a large volume transcoding jobs. You can run application in three ways. So basically just through user interface, use of watch folder, or via REST API. Just to give you a little bit of overview of a company, a lot of us actually came from a previous startup. It's called Rosette, which was now acquired by Harmonic. So we have a team from engineering, support, and sales department of a previous startup, Rosette. So we have been around in this industry for a while now. So we know exactly what customers are looking for. So basically, when we started this company, we wanted to address limitations of Carbon Quarter offered by Rosette while preserving a lot of good things about Carbon Quarter as well. So our product is very easy to use, very cost effective, and it comes with a very clean, streamlined REST API. So it's very easy for integration for existing workflow. So our product is not only, as it runs on 64-bit, it supports HEVC 4K all the way up to 8K. So not only it meets today's customers' requirement, it is also built as a foundation of clean, future-proof transcoding engine. So it's very flexible to meet customers' ever-changing requirements. It doesn't come with a lot of limitations, which is a very good thing. So it does support wide range of input and output file format support. Pretty much all major formats are supported.
And support.
Cambria FTC does a lot more than just transcoding. It includes many unique features such as video analysis capabilities, script features to customize your workflow on the fly, or it even comes with text recognition features. So Cambria FTC is not just a transcoder, but it's basically a tool that helps you to organize media much more effectively than standard transcoding solutions out there. So what we showed at IBC this year, it was the latest version of Cambria FTC. It's a version 4.3.1. we were very excited to announce our new product. It's a new Cambria FTC packager, which I'm going to get into it a little bit later about actual user cases. It also comes with our Detto multi-DRM integration. This is a combination with our FTC packager. So the packager is able to repackage to multiple stream formats like HLS, MPEG-Dash, Microsoft Smooth Streaming, and then also CMAF. And we work with our Detto for encryption part. We now have improved AVID exporter. So from Cambria FTC, you can create AVID mezzanine files and directly check those files into Interplay. So for AVID users, you could have a single process of transcoding and checking media directly into AVID systems. We used to only support Atomos Audio only for Dolby Vision formats, but now Atomos Audio is supported for other file formats. We now have improved motion compensated frame converter for the very best output quality. We try to also keep up with our partners' codec updates. So we have the latest X265 integration into FTC. We have this unique feature called add insertion points detection. So I'm going to get into it a little bit more in the details in later slides, but basically we are able to determine what are the optimal add insertion points are by running analysis of the video. In combination of that, we are able to do insertion of SCOTY35, so that works for SSAI for monetization of the contents. We have a ability to do hybrid load balancing. Basically, you could have on-premise Cambria cluster network of multiple Cambria FTC machine for doing transcoding. Once it reaches maximum capacity, we're able to add crowd instances as a part of the cluster network. We now fully support Dolby Vision support that's been certified by Dolby. We also support Dolby E, Dolby Digital Plus for audio support as well. So let's go ahead and talk about our unique feature, automatic add insertion points detection. So this came up from our customers who are wanting to monetize content in archive. So those archive contents often are not designed to have any commercial break. So it's very hard to determine where to insert ads. Basically, when streaming the contents over the net, they want to be able to monetize by inserting SCOTY35 and working with various SSAI platforms such as YourSpace and Brightcove. So what we did is basically looked into our existing video analysis feature to see if we could utilize that. We optimized it so that we are able to determine optimal add insertion points, which is much more effective, cost-effective way of doing that than having somebody have to look through the entire video to determine where to insert ad. So basically, we do have analysis mode in the target. What you do is you choose the container for analysis and enable the detect scene changes. And basically, we spit out this kind of output, the three categories. So some contents actually does have a black segments in the place where we're supposed to insert ads. So that's pretty easy for us to determine. So this is a list of time code where the black segments were detected. We also have new scenes where we see a dramatic difference in the color values in 5 to 6 frames, and we determine that is most likely a new scene. We also have a most different scenes, like for contents like quiz shows or news, there's a drastic difference between like going from one scene to the next. So then we determine the frames or the time code, where are the most different scenes detected. So as I said, the black segments, it contains segments which are both black and silent. So we basically determine, if we determine that there is more than 3 black segments, then we determine that those are most likely optimal add insertion points. And new scenes contains the locations of new scenes. So, you know, new scenes list is often used for drama content. So there's no confidence values for the new scenes, but you know, we kind of determined what are the new scenes based on the color value shift in the previous frames. Most different scenes, it contains the scenes that are the most different from the rest of the source file. So this is very effective for game shows, talk shows, which takes place on a single stage or generally at the fixed stage sets. So depending on the kind of source contents that you're dealing with, you need to pick which list is the most effective one for ad insertion. Basically so this is a way to determine, so what we can do in addition to that, once we determine what are the optimal ad insertion points, Cambria FTC now supports insertion of Scotty 35s. So we can basically take that list of time code and insert Scotty 35 for those points. Then your content is ready for streaming and to work with various SSAI platforms. So next, I'd like to talk to you about a new packager workflow. So basically, it works with Cambria FTC. There are two ways to use it. If you want to use Cambria FTC to do transcoding and packaging, Cambria FTC's streaming export does that. So it encodes and it packages into multiple streaming formats, HLS, MPEG Dash, CMAF, or Microsoft Smooth Streaming. But more effective way to do it, especially if you're dealing with a high volume transcoding packaging jobs, in most cases, customers would do transcoding using Cambria FTC, creating TS or MP4 files, streams, and then use Cambria Packager to do repackaging at the same time to, for example, HLS, MPEG Dash, CMAP, Microsoft Smooth Streaming, and using encryption feature to do encrypting as well. So Cambria FTC comes with a feature called Source Adaptive Bitrate Ladder. It automatically adjusts the bitrate ladder used for Dash HLS and so on, based on the encoding complexity of the source video, which is a great feature to use. So based on the source file, we run analysis, and if the video is complex to do encoding, we just increase the bitrate for the bitrate ladder, or vice versa. So now Cambria Packager works with multi-DRM support for Adeto. So basically we support HLS and Fairplay for encryption, MPEG Dash for whitebind, Microsoft Smooth Stream for PlayReady. So now I like to go ahead and talk about Cambria Live, which you guys already probably, many of you guys are familiar with a software-based live encoder. It is a enterprise level software live encoder. It is Akamai certified encoder as well. We have various partners that we work with in this live field. So Akamai is a partner of us for CDN, and also YoSpace and Brightcove is our partner for SSAI. We also integrate fully YouTube and Facebook to be able to directly upload the contents over to YouTube and Facebook as well. For YouTube, we also work with their monetization scheme, so we are able to insert ads and it shows up on the viewer for YouTube viewers. So there are several ways to use Cambria Live in different workflow, which I'm going to get into a little bit. It can be used as a fully automated live streaming workflow using Cambria Live Broadcast Manager, or it can be used as an all-in-one system that handles live switching, production function, encoding, and distribution. It comes with a full support for REST-based API, so Cambria Live can just run as a engine in the background as a part of existing big workflow for our customers. HLS, MPEG Dash, CMAF, and CMAF CTE are all supported. It also supports RTP and SRT as well. Unique thing about a product, our Cambria Live, is that it supports for various ad signals such as Scotty 35, 104, Arrive STTB 39, which is a Japanese standard, and it could simply take calls via API as well. We have a application called ad controller, which inserts ad breaks dynamically during an event using just a manual queue, which I'm going to show it more in a later slide. As I mentioned, it has a full integration with YoSpace SSI. We now can directly upload to AWS Media Store, Media Live, Media Tailor compatible as well. It is a highly scalable software-based solution. It is also very flexible, which is why we're able to customize to some degree to pretty much any commercial queue tones that our customers are using. So the interesting thing is that it used to be that this kind of live encoding was normally processed based on hardware solution. But now, as you know, CPU is much faster and we have sophisticated software like Cambria Live. We're able to do this software-based, which is much more cost-effective, much easier to use, and it's scalable, it's customizable. So, I kind of already went over this, but a little bit of advantage of Cambria Live. Many customers we speak to, a lot of people like to use Cambria Live because A, it's cost effective, but it is also very easy to install, operate, and scale. Unlike other broadcasting specific equipment, pretty much if you know how to use a computer, PC, then you are able to use application quite easily. It is very stable and high quality output. For the encoding, we use X264 as our encoder inside, which yields a very high quality video output, even at the low bit rate as well. We can take on fully automated scheduled live streaming events using BCM. It also runs in cloud on-premise, so it gives more flexibility to our customers. Another thing that our customers, so we have about, I think 60–70% of customers using us, just using our UI, but the rest of customers are also using API. So they are integrating Cambria Live as an engine into the existing workflow, which is very important for most of our tier 1 broadcast customers. They already have some sort of workflow layers or existing a big broadcasting workflow for archiving, VOD, and streaming, and Cambria Live can fit into that workflow quite easily by use of API. So one is a Cambria Live studio workflow. Basically, for corporate or school or education field customers, use us as an all-in-one live studio solution. So for input, we can take on multiple capture inputs, SDI, or also UDP, RTP input. So we can switch in between different capture input as we are doing an event. We could also do things like picture-in-picture, desktop capture, and we can do audio mixing, adding scrolling text, and then we distribute to multiple destinations such as YouTube Live, Ustream, Akamai, Brightcove. Or we could also do file recording. So while you're doing streaming, we can capture the entire event to a file for reuse for VOD, for example, like later use. We could also go out to RTP or UDP, or we could also simply do SDI out for monitoring the content going out. So as you can see, we take on input, production, encode, and distribute all in one system. So with that, it comes with Cambria Live Edit and Editor, which was, we got quite a bit of interest in this feature during IBC. So basically, because Cambria Live is able to capture the entire event to a file, we use that file to create highlight clips. So basically, while we're doing streaming, we can already start editing for highlight clips. So Cambria Live Editor is a standalone application. You can install it, you can use it as a part of the Cambria Live on the exact same machine, or it could be installed on multiple machines that are connected to Cambria Live. So it allows multiple editors to edit for highlight clips at the same time during an event. and it gives you a timeline, so you can do a seeking throughout the event for in and out points. And you can use Cambria FTC to do transcoding to various file formats, or you can simply re-input those highlight clips back into Cambria Live and restream right away. So there's no downtime of creating highlight clips, so it doesn't take any time for you to reuse the highlight clip. So you could be doing live event, and during the break time, you could have a list of highlight clips you just created and just do the loop playback of the playlist, for example. This is a Cambria Live Broadcast Manager, so this is very different from Cambria Live Studio workflow. This is more for broadcasters doing simultaneous streaming of their TV program, for example. It's fully automated. It comes with a scheduling function, so you could register multiple live events, so it can start and stop streaming at a fixed schedule. We support commercial signal, so some customers, some of our customers are still using, for example, like Q-tone signals, on and off signals for commercial coming from master controls room, and we can convert that signal into SCOTY 35, so it works with SSAI such as YoSpace. It also works with YouTube ad insertion. It does have a failover functionality, so Cambria Live Broadcast Manager monitors multiple Cambria Live machines. If one fails, then Cambria Live Broadcast Manager redistribute the jobs over to Cambria Live. And Cambria Live Broadcast Manager can have a redundancy, so you could have another Cambria Manager broadcaster as a backup, and if this fails, then the backup will take over. It does things like SDI rerouting, notifications, and scheduled machine maintenance. So for Cambria Live version 4.3, which is what we showed at IBC, we also have a Cambria Live packager, which is the same concept as FTC packager, except we're dealing with live inputs. So we can ingest live streams and repackage into MPEG-Dash, MPEG-Dash, HLS, CMAF, and also Microsoft Smooth Streaming. We are very excited to announce that we do have integration now to AWS Media Tailor and Media Store. So from Cambria Live, we can deliver the streams directly to those locations. We now support Azure timed metadata, which is a SCOTY 35 support in RTMP. Brightcove is one of our partners that we work closely with. So now that they support Brightcove SRT, we do support output to SRT that is compatible with Brightcove systems. Same for RTP as well. YoSpace announced a couple new features such as sparse ad break, which we already support now. Arrive STDB39 is a standard for Japanese, and we basically can take the signal as an ad insertion point and convert it into SCOTY 35. We now support CMAF CTE for ultra low latency delivery. We also support Brightcove ID3 tag, which allows you to define and link a type of ads and when to insert the ads. Well, for Cambria Live and Cambria FTC, both now support Prometheus support to give you updates on the machine health. Basically, it's an open source tool for you to monitor how well your systems are functioning. So for SSAI workflow, basically Cambria Live Broadcast Manager ingest information, SCOTY 104, Qtone 35, various different file formats, various different commercial signals, and then those Cambria Live basically ingest SDI and then convert it live encode to RTMP, HLS, MPEG-CMAS, all with SCOTY 35. And deliver to Akamai and YoSpace. So Cambria Live Outbreak Control, which is interesting. So for events that doesn't come with original ad insertion points, somebody somewhere needs to insert the outbreak control signals. So this is what it does. So you could have multiple operators monitoring a single event and do Cambria using Cambria Outbreak Control to do manual ad insertion. So as they view the event and see optimal ad points are coming, you simply insert ad, and ad marker information gets transferred over to Cambria Live Broadcast Manager. And then the same thing, Cambria Live does that live encoding and then to various formats with the SCOTY 35 information that works with various SSAI platforms. So to show you the AI, so you could monitor multiple live events from Cambria Live Outbreak Control tool. So you see like multiple events going on, and these are kind of like a placeholders for ad insertion points. So you can specify the duration of the ad and the ad preset that you want to use. And then as the live event goes on, you just keep clicking, and then the ad gets inserted. So it basically allows you to dynamically insert ad during the event. And then at the same time, it allows you to monitor multiple events. It also comes with the capability to switch to emergency ad, and it comes with full frame previews, so it's easy for you to determine where to insert ad. And then also it supports a prefetch, which is a very useful feature if you're dealing with a large scale live event where you expect to have a large number of viewers, then you want to make sure that ads won't run out. So you can prefetch ads. So you're just basically warning ad servers, hey, those ads, place ad insertion points are coming. So then the ad server can start pre-prepping the ads so that it won't run out. It also shows viewership count. So I don't know if you can see here, it tells you how many users are watching that event. So if you're dealing with like 4 events at the same time, you can really focus on inserting ads for a very high viewership count events like this. So then you can focus and monetize events that has the most potential for monetization. So these are the list of customers, and the list of customers are expanding verbally. We have various customers using Cambria Live and FTC, and a lot of our customers are now starting to use both, which is great. The Cambria FTC for offline transcoding, Cambria Live for the live encoding, and then the fact that they work together is a very effective, streamlined solution. And we were very excited to talk to various customers at IBC. Existing customers are very excited to see what's coming next, and then also new potential customers who were very eager to learn about our offerings and products. And as I mentioned, we also have various partners that we work with. Now that we have Adeto for the encryption, Akamai Aerospace for SSAI. We also does watermarking capabilities through plugin using NextGuard. So, as much as we value our relationship with customers, we also like working with various customers offering solutions that we don't offer. Example, the Extreme offers workflow solutions, integrating our engine. Now that Stefan just showed Fabric, which uses our encoding engine as well. So we like working with various customers from different fields. We believe that offers a very complete solutions to our customers. So that is the end of my webinar. Feel free to ask any questions, and if you like to get a demo, Extreme will be able to take care of that. But I'm going to go ahead and give this back to Toby now.
Hello, thank you very much. We actually have some questions which we could answer together. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, no problem.
Very well. So there's one question actually. If Cambria is supporting RTMPS,
can you repeat the question? 14?
Is Cambria supporting RTMPS stream, I think, because it's the question about Facebook, which will only use the protocol.
Yes, it supports RTMPS.
And in both, in live and in file?
RTMPS is a protocol for live only, is what I understand. So it's only supported in Cambria Live.
You're right, my mistake. Thank you. The other question is if you have any SaaS offerings.
So that would be handled more like Fabric, right, from Extreme, but we only sell licensing.
Okay. I think that was someone who joined a bit later because he was asking again about the FTC packager. So what's new about the FTC packager? Maybe you can give him quite a wrap up of 2 or 3 phrases about that.
Yeah, so basically FTC Packager is a standalone application. So you can import encoded streams and just repackage to HLS, MPEG-Dash, Microsoft Smooth Streaming, and also CMAF. It also has a capability to do encryption through Ardetto multi-DRM system. So basically, you know, the FTP Packager is able to take in the encoded streams and repackaging into multiple formats.
Great, thank you. And also one word of myself, but I think you made it pretty clear. Please contact us, either the Extreme team or of course also the Capella team, if you want to have more information and especially if you would like to try the software. That is very easy to do, and we are happy to help you to install it and to guide you through the first steps. But since it is also a very intuitive software, I'm quite sure when this is your field, then you will be handling Capella either live or file quite easily. But please contact us. That's a great tool. Thank you very much, Ikuyo, for your time.
Yep, thank you very much.